Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX. I'm Sharma. Voting now is over. It has concluded and the Election Commission has recorded a total turnout of 57.7%. This was up until 5 p.m. All eyes are set on the exit polls in the next hour. But before we reflect on the numbers, we are roping in our experts and analysts to gauge the pulse of the people. Before we go to the expertometer, let's get Pia on the telecast with us. And Pia, give us the numbers 6 p.m. What is the total voter turnout?
Indeed, as of now, the latest numbers recorded by the Election Commission, the voter turnout stands at 57.70% as for 5 p.m. Meanwhile, in New Delhi, 54.27 percentage of the population has inked their finger. In Karkaji, 51.81% of the people have cast their mandate. In Jangpura, 55.23% is the voter turnout. In Malve Nagar, 52.07% of the people have cast their mandate. Meanwhile, in Patparganj, 57.74% is the statistic recorded till 5 p.m. today. In Rohini, meanwhile, the number stands at 60.22%. Let's also take a look at Rajouri Garden in particular, where the voter turnout stands at 58.96%. In Greater Kailash, the number dips a little bit to 52%. Meanwhile, let's also take a look at the number recorded in Shakur Basti. 59.21% of the people have inked their finger till 5 o'clock. In Okhla, 52.77% people have cast their mandate. And last but not least, in Balli Maran, 59.56% of the people have cast their vote. Back to you, Megha.
All right. Thanks, Pia, for giving us all those numbers. Let's begin with our expertometer. Expertometer is to gauge the pulse of the people, but particularly the 5 guests who join me very shortly, and we ask them to stick their neck out and give their best estimate of how the numbers will tally up. This is right before the poll of polls that will be conducted, and you will be privy to all the numbers in just about an hour's time. But let's start with NewsX Expertometer. Joining me on the telecast, first up is Sumit Peer. Sumit, thank you very much. And let's take a look at the numbers. So what is your estimate of the numbers that each of the 3 parties will be able to garner, and who do you think will win the election?
Megha ji, thank you as always having me on your show. Pleasure always to be with you. Well, looking at the today, it's going to be a very sensational election. My numbers are, I am pessimistic with my numbers. I am giving 37 to BJP. I am given 2 to Congress. I am giving 31 to AAP. That is my number. That is how, to me, the number breakdown looks like. BJP is going to make it because I have been seeing the mood. I have been analyzing the trends. I don't feel like that there is a lahar or a wave for Kejriwal. The kind of a wave which I have seen in the previous elections. Well, that wave is completely missing, and his image has taken a major dent. And if you look at the voter turnout, 57.7%, it's not a major change in the voter turnout as well. So let's not expect altogether different result. That is where I would put my numbers on.
Okay. All right. And let's take a look at specific VIP constituencies and the star candidates who are fighting the election. It is the New Delhi constituency. Let's start with that. Obviously, the Aam Aadmi Party national convener Arvind Kejriwal is fighting the election. He has won it successively in the previous elections as well, in 2015, in 2020, and now talking about 2025. What do you think? Do you think there is going to be a tough fight that will be given by the BJP's Parvesh Verma and of course Congress, Sheila Dikshit's son, Sandeep Dikshit, fighting the election this time?
There's definitely going to be a very, very tight fight because Sandeep Dikshit is a heavyweight, Parvesh Verma is a heavyweight, Kejriwal is a heavyweight. We have to see where do the trends go. But I think looking at, because it's a triangular fight now, it's not a two-way fight, I am seeing advantage to Parvesh Verma. If he can pull his cards a little bit, I think Kejriwal, the kind of fiascos he has been trying to create for a lot of few days is in big trouble. Unfortunately, Mr. Dikshit may not be able to make it, but he is going to give a run of money to Kejriwal. And if he gives a run of money to Kejriwal, it's advantage Mr. Verma. That is how the equation looks to me.
Okay, I'm also going to pick one very interesting constituency, which is the Okhla Assembly constituency. This time around, of course, Amanatullah Khan, the veteran of the Aam Aadmi Party who has been winning Okhla constituency for the last 3 terms consecutively. But this time around, there is the AIMIM who has decided to field a candidate from the Okhla constituency. How is this going to tally up? And will it be to the benefit of Aam Aadmi Party? Will there be reduction of votes for Aam Aadmi Party and Amanatullah Khan this time?
I think this will be completely advantageous to the Congress Muslim candidate. And don't be surprised, Meghaji, if Okhla and Selampur goes Congress's way. The two seats which I'm giving them is for considering Okhla and Selampur only. I'm not betting my neck on any else seat because there is a chance, because there's a lot of anti-incumbency against Amanatullah Khan. Congress putting a Muslim candidate, and then you have this AIMIM fielding its own candidate. So these two seats might go to Congress, and I've seen Rahul Gandhi campaign in these two seats. So why did out of the whole Delhi he pick these two seats? And if you look at the selection of candidates, if you look at the mathematics around it, it looks like Congress might be able to open their account with two seats in these two seats, Okhla and Selampur.
Okay, all right, but let's talk about, you talk about Greater Kailash, you're talking about Jangpura, the only people that, the only candidates that people are well aware of, heard their names, like Greater Kailash, it's Saurabh Bharadwaj, Jangpura, it's Manish Sisodia. You know, when you talk about BJP and the Congress, nobody even knows who these individuals are.
I think it's not a question of when it comes to BJP, you know, individuals do matter, but individuals don't determine everything. You know, BJP works on Modi ki guarantee. BJP works on the organization. BJP works on the cadre. Whereas Aam Aadmi has to typically stick to the personality. While in Congress also, it's a 70-30, 70% personality, 30% party. So if you look at that way, the candidates are fielded by, like for example, if you look at Pravesh Verma, everybody knows Pravesh Verma. For example, if you look at Ashish Sood from Janakpuri, people know Ashish Sood in that area. If you look at Sirsaji, people know Sirsaji in that part of Delhi. He might not be known in Jamna Par, but in his part of Delhi, West Delhi, Sirsaji is well known. So if you look at the BJP's selection of candidates, Meghaji, either it's a heavyweight, you know, like Dushyant Gautam, who is, as a general secretary, is fighting the MLA ka chunav, or then you have a completely different face which doesn't carry a lot of the baggage of the past. Then you have the Modi ki guarantee, which is basically where the magic wand is. And if these three things work well, and luckily Congress is fighting an election this time for a change. Last two elections, Congress has been giving it a miss. Congress fighting an election, and you know, is an advantage to BJP. There's no doubt about that.
Okay, and when finally, let's also talk about Kalkaji. You know, distinguished big names over here. Alka Lamba from the Congress, Atishi is from Aam Aadmi Party. She is the interim chief minister of Delhi right now. Ramesh Biduri of the BJP. Do you think the BJP and the Congress have tried to give a tough fight to Atishi from this constituency?
Definitely, Ramesh Biduri is a heavyweight, but if you ask me my assessment, I will still say it's advantage to Atishi, because you know the constituency, if you understand the dynamics of it, that is very well placed for Atishi. But you know, Alka Lamba and Biduri are going to give a tough fight to Atishi. If there can be any surprise, it won't be Alka Lamba, it will be Ramesh Biduri. So if there's either it is, in my assessment, I would say 70% it goes to Atishi, 30% is Biduri. Alka ji to uske baad number aata hai. She's not, you know, even that 30%, but she's going to give a tough fight, like Kejriwal will get a tough fight from Sandeep Dixit.
Okay, now, you know, I want to make a general analysis of your prediction. You've said that BJP will get 37, Aam Aadmi Party will reduce to 31, so which is almost half the number of seats that it won, because it won 62 last time around, and 31 is just half the seats. Just half the seats that as per your prediction it will be able to get. Congress at 2. So what is this game changer that BJP will bring around according to you? Because the last time around it had only been able to win 5 seats, which was in fact a number increase, because last time around it had only won 3.
You see, Meghaji, there are just 5 simple factors. First factor is the image of AAP and Kejriwal and all is dented. It is not there what it used to be. There's anti-incumbency. Congress is fighting a good election, which I compliment them for, which is advantage to BJP. Fourth factor which is going to matter is, look, BJP needs 6% vote share to win the election. 3% had already happened, and 6% it happens, it will win. If it is able to make it to 10%, it will sweep. Now, the question is the Muslim vote. There is around 10-12% Muslim vote, and there is 5% Sikh vote. Does it split? If Muslim and Sikh vote splits, how much does it split, or which way does it split? That is where the balance 3-4-6% is going to come from. Because even if it splits, you are not, even if you maintain your same vote percentage, other vote share splits. Look, last time Muslims en masse voted Kejriwal, and 80% of Sikh brothers voted Kejriwal. But when I talk to my friends in the Sikh community, they are not going to do that same, and even Muslim community is divided. So let's see if Congress is able to pull that 3, 4, 5% of the Muslim vote out of 10% of Aam Aadmi Party. So it's like, I don't have to increase my line, but if the other two lines become smaller, it's an advantage to me. So this is where the equation is going to be. I'm for sure 3% vote swing has happened. I will be watching out. Is it 6? I bet it should be around 6. Can it go to even 10? If it's 10, it will be a complete role reversal. My numbers will look very less for BJP then if the 10% vote swing happens or the vote division happens. We have to wait and watch another 1 hour. We'll come to know. How does it look?
All right. Thanks, Sumit, for joining us and being part of the NewsX Expertometer. Next up, let's invite Ajay Kumar Jha, who's a political analyst. Thank you, Ajay, for joining us, and let's put out those numbers that you have predicted. You said BJP is going to get round about 38 to 40 seats, Aam Aadmi Party 30 to 31 seats, and the Indian National Congress maybe 1 seat at the maximum. So if you could help us analyze what is the reason that you've given this seat distribution to these three parties?
Actually, this is my revised estimate, ma'am. Previous day I had given AAP 36 to 38, BJP 32 to 34, and Congress Party 1 to 2. But today I have revised it, and now it has turned in a different way. BJP, I find, is now going to form government if everything goes as per my analysis. I understand there are various factors which we should take into account. It is understood that the voting percentage counts most, but the turnout of voters, which section of the voter is turning out, that is very important. Actually, what is happening these days, even in the developed countries, we have seen that the educated class people, they are not coming out to vote as much as the underprivileged, or I won't say that uneducated, but those people who are still on the lower rung of societal development, they prefer to come for voting more in comparison to the middle class and the affluent class people. That is one thing. So which class of the people are turning out to vote for whatever party they wish to? So in my understanding, even this time, in spite of the fact that BJP just a few days ago when budget came out and there was a big impression that BJP is going to get because of the middle class people who have been given so much support or so much new privileges or in terms of income tax or whatever. So it is going to go in favor of BJP. Yes, it must go, but depending upon how many of them come out, because in the middle class, who are the people? Middle class, most of them are either service goers, office goers, corporate people, and such people who are entrepreneurs in their own way, in their own right.
Okay.
They are the people.
Okay, all right. It's interesting because, I'm going to also speak to the other political analysts and commentators who will be joining me very shortly after you, and all of you have accorded an increase of about 28 to 30 seats to the BJP. A few here and there notwithstanding, but I am interested in knowing that what do you think has been done by the BJP that is, according to you, making the mind of the BJP of the Delhiite, of the voter, to then decide to go and vote for the BJP if these numbers is what we go by. Ajay Jha, the question is for you.
Oh, sorry, I didn't call. Yeah, what did you ask, ma'am?
Why? What is it? What is it that is drawing, according to you, the people of Delhi, the voters of Delhi, to vote for BJP this time around, as per the division of votes, as per the division of seats that you have brought down?
Oh, there are clearer factors. First of all, the middle class is very important. Delhi itself is largely a middle class and lower class people city, where the number of middle class we know has been increasing over the years, and at the same time, the number of other sections of people, down the line, their number is also increasing. Now, this time, the most important factor, which I think would be in the context of if we go by the lower class people, those who are not so much privileged, they would be divided. They would not be in the same like the previous elections where it went almost en masse, en bloc. They voted for Kejriwal, and Kejriwal in fact gave them full support also, because he provided all sorts of the basic requirements, at least in case of electricity, water, and all water, not in terms of the fresh water or clean water, but in terms of at least they are getting it. But electricity was one, and free ride to women on buses, and then again pilgrimage, free pilgrimage to the elderly people, and all those things. Those things actually it went well with them, and so that was en bloc. This time, I don't think it is going to be go en bloc of in this section. It will be divided. It will be divided depending upon.
Okay. I also want to understand from you today. More or less the elections, the voting that happened was calm, composed. There were no unprecedented developments that took place. The police and the paramilitary were in total control of the situation on the ground. But still, there were certain isolated incidents where allegations were made by the BJP that there was fake voting that was taking place in Selampur. Then Saurabh Bharadwaj came out and accused the Delhi police that the police were blocking the voters from going to the polling stations and voting. There was allegations of money being distributed. This was an allegation made by the BJP against the Aam Aadmi Party. So, do you think this was just a tactic by the politicians to target each other on the day of election? Or do you think there may have been these isolated incidents where politicians may have tried to leverage their position by way of money or fake voting and so on and so forth? Yes, Mr. Ajay.
Yes, actually, but such cases cannot be said that it has been seen everywhere. But isolated cases might have been seen, and it has been seen, no doubt about it. But the most important part is how much it goes down the psyche of the people. If it really is giving some kind of understanding among such people, no, some mischief is being created by BJP or by Congress, then it can work. But I don't think it. Now, people have understood over a period of time, last 10 years, that what gimmicks up has been playing all along, and what good they have been doing for them. Both things have been going together. So even the lesser privileged people, they have the wisdom to understand what actually the matter is. The only thing which guides them or which leads them to the voting booth is what in benefit they are getting, number one, and what aspirations do they have for future. So far as the future aspirations
also, my reporters were on the ground for the entirety of the day across the length and breadth of Delhi. They were in New Delhi, they were in Patparganj, Okhla, all these constituencies, and they were speaking to people. And I heard a number of voters who came out to vote. They were from, particularly the middle class. Some of them said that, they had problems of water that was not clean in their homes. They talked about broken roads, they talked about waterlogging, they talked about cleanliness of their community and the RWAs. Those were issues that they raised. And then there were certain communities and certain voters who came out and said that they are happy that they have been getting subsidies and schemes, and education is something that they are very happy about, and the medical assistance and health facilities that are being provided to them, they are satisfied with it. So again, do you think this is a mixed bag? Do you think one political party may have been catering to one section of the society versus the other?
Certainly, that is what I was referring to. The society, the different sections of society, they are divided in their opinion this time, very much divided. Even the underprivileged people, they are divided, for the simple reason that, okay, they are getting those things. But this is the time when Prime Minister himself has come out with the assurance that whatever benefit they are getting, they would be getting even in their term, even in BJP's term, if it comes to power.
Right.
The faith in Prime Minister is so much that many people can be driven by his assurances. Number one, so at least that part is very clear to them that this we are going to get in any case. But at the same time, they would also be getting another other benefits also, because Prime Minister has promised that they would be getting fresh water, Jamuna clean, and all those things which have not been done as yet. But what they had been getting, or they have been getting, it would continue to be provided to them. So
Okay.
that much, and the kind
Okay,
of
all right, fair
which
enough.
Prime Minister.
You've put out your points of view, and we'll obviously
Yeah.
be able to find out
Yeah.
what happens on 7th of February when the results are announced by the Election Commission. Joining me also on the telecast right now is Ashutosh Sharma. Ashutosh Sharma, thank you very much for joining us on NewsX Expertometer, and let's quickly break down the figures that you at this point in time have estimated are going to be sealing the fate of the BJP, the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party.
Yeah, as per my survey, as per my estimate, I had given that BJP is going to get 28 to 32 seats, and our party is going to get anything 32, 36, 38 seats. And Congress, they might open an account with 1 or 2 seats. That was my earlier estimate, but I'll like to revise it now. The things have changed by the time the election voting has closed. The percent, I would say now the BJP has a slight edge over our party. So I'm going to give BJP anything between 36 to 42 seats, and Congress might open an account with 1 or 2 seats, and rest of the seats are going to our party. This time, the people have realized, those who voted AAP earlier for last 2 terms, that our party has failed to provide the basic needs to the resident of Delhi, what they promised. Many of the things they were talked on paper, they were talked in television, and in fact, those things are not being provided. Delhi is facing with the acute problem of water problem. Residents of Delhi are not getting the fresh, pure water. That's very dirty and polluted. Air of Delhi is very polluted, and sometimes the peak of air pollution was so bad that even it was difficult. It made life of Delhi like hell. It looked as if the Delhi people are living in the chamber of gas. So roads are in very pathetic condition. The sanitary services are not up to the mark what had been promised. The schools, as it was promised by our party, they're going to open 500 schools and 20 other technical colleges, that extra. Everything remained on paper. Nothing is being delivered to the people of Delhi. The teachers, those who are in schools, they have not yet got their salaries. And many other promises of theirs remain to be fulfilled. So now people have lesser faith. I am talking to the local people. I am traveling by.
Okay, but do you think the society is segmented? The people who vote for Arvind Kejriwal or have been voting for Aam Aadmi Party for the past so many years, and there are different sets of concerns. Do you think certain sections may not bother about whether the Yamuna is clean, whether the air pollution in Delhi is killing people, is causing so many medical issues, health problems amongst people, till the time they are getting the freebies, till the time the welfare projects are putting money into their accounts, till the time they are getting free health benefits, free education?
See, how long can you sustain on freebies? How long can you continue to give freebies? I mean, there are section of society which like to have freebies. Now, what our party has been offered, BJP is also countered the same, or rather they bettered our party. Our party was giving 2,100 rupees to the ladies, and BJP has offered 2,500 rupees. So when it comes to the offers, I think both the parties, they are trying to offer better than the other one. But now the faith, the resident of Delhi, that is swing in favor of BJP. I am talking to the normal people. I am talking to the dwellers, those who are living in the chugis. I am talking to the common people, auto rickshaw drivers, taxi drivers, and they said they're not satisfied with the AAP. What they had promised, the aim and objective what they had shown 10 years back, they have remained to still unfulfilled. So they want to see the change, and they want a better life in Delhi. Even the people living in the slums and jhuggies, they're living in clusters. Those who had voted in big terms to bring our party to the cabinet, to form the cabinet. They voted not only once, they voted twice, they voted three times.
Okay.
But all the policies which are being made by our party, they remain unfulfilled.
Okay.
Except free buses, water and electricity. Many more things are yet to be done, and now people realize the magic of Modi. BJP is the more united party, and whatever the Prime Minister says, he fulfills. So people's people's interest, that is swing to BJP. So I think the BJP is going to form the government in Delhi.
Okay.
And
So let's also talk about the VIP constituencies. You know, all the big faces. Let's talk about Arvind Kejriwal and Parvesh Verma and Sandeep Dixit in New Delhi.
Arvind
Do you
Kejriwal
think there is a chance that the BJP's candidate or Congress's candidate could upset Arvind Kejriwal's chances of winning from this seat?
Yeah, well, I was coming to that. It is difficult for Kejriwal to defend his seat. He's going to get a big fight. Number one from Sandeep Dixit, because he's coming after a long time. Earlier, Congress didn't have its existence. For 10 years, there was no name of Congress in Delhi. Now, the Sandeep Dixit, whatever vote he's going to get, that is going to benefit BJP. And it might be difficult for Kejriwal to save his seat from New Delhi.
Okay, and let's also analyze and figure out what is the fabric of the Okla Assembly constituency, because the first time around it is AIMIM who's also fielding a candidate. Who is it going to benefit?
Yeah, AIMIM doesn't have much weight in Delhi. They're outside Delhi, they are very strong, but in Delhi they have yet to make an impact. But certainly they're going to be changing these two seats. One of these Congress candidates might get this seat, grab this seat, Amanatullah Khan. Instead of Amanatullah Khan, they're going to get a replacement of that.
Okay, and what about Greater Kailash and Jangpura, Seelampur, and also when we talk about all these big candidates, big names, they are celebrated names, people know them, Manish Sisodia and Saurabh Bharadwaj, and when we compare these individuals, these candidates to the BJP candidates and the Congress candidates, nobody has heard about them.
Let me talk one by one. Let's come to the Jangpura seat. Manish Sisodia failed to deliver the goods to the local residents in Patparganj. He was winning the seat for last two successive elections, and the scenario of the roads is very pathetic, and the hygiene conditions are very bad. So he knew that he's not going to win the seat from this constituency, so he changed the area. He's shifted to Jangpura, and Jangpura is going to get a big, tough time to defend his seat. I don't think it will be easy for Manish Sisodia to defend his seat.
Okay.
So
and what about Greater Kailash, Saurabh Bharadwaj? Today, Saurabh Bharadwaj, created a row. He was accusing the Delhi police of actually blocking the way of the voters, stopping them from casting their vote.
Well, he's been in the habit of making such remarks. There's nothing new with what he's saying. He's been talking like that for last so many. I've seen his debates, I've seen his comments. So he used to making these kind of remarks. But the people of the Greater Kailash area, they know what they're going to get if they elect Saurabh Bharadwaj again. And if the BJP is in the center, what can Saurabh Bharadwaj provide to them? So people are sensible, and they will cast their vote very sensibly, and they might see some change in this time.
And what about Kalkaji, which is a Atishi's bastion? We have Alka Lamba from the Congress. The BJP is fielding Ramesh Biduri.
Yeah, that's right. Remark of Ramesh Biduri a few days back, what he made a sarcastic remark against Atishi, that's not good. Certainly Atishi is going to have an edge over Ramesh Biduri. Though Ramesh Biduri is a heavyweight, he was a member of parliament earlier, and he has a good hold in the area, but Atishi's work people have seen, and here the Atishi has an edge over the BJP candidate.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Ajay Kumar Jha, for joining us and sharing your perspective, your projections as to who wins the election in the national capital. Joining me also right now on the telecast is Advocate Manaswi Thapar. Thank you very much, Manaswi Thapar, for joining us on Expertometer. And first up, what are your projections? Who's going to win the election?
I feel that BJP is having an edge over Aam Aadmi Party, but though it's going to be a close fight. But why do I say that is because BJP has been consistent in its vote bank. So what is happening right now is the vote share of Aam Aadmi Party is predominantly a vote share which is anti-BJP, which was consolidated by the departure of Congress from Delhi. So what happened in 2013, 15, 20 was that Congress did not have that momentum. Congress was reduced in the last election to less than 5% of vote share. And Aam Aadmi Party had generated around 50% of vote share in 2020. And on the other side, BJP had a positive of 35% of vote share, which was stable. So now coming 2025, what happens here is Congress is fighting this election with this whatever strength they have, but in the full strength mode, they're fighting this election. So the vote share of Aam Aadmi Party and Congress is a common vote share. So what is going to happen in this vote share? The division is going to happen in this vote share for the first time after 2015, I would say. For the first time that the real division of the vote share would happen. The Congress vote share, which was taken up by Aam Aadmi Party, is going to go back to the Congress shelter. And Aam Aadmi Party will have a Congress vote share and the newly acquired Aam Aadmi Party vote share, whichever would be there. But BJP's vote share is a stable vote share, which was around 35% plus 38% in the last election. So BJP has that edge because of the consolidated, stable, unified vote share which they have. And that is what is the result in the Lok Sabhas. What we have seen is in the last three Lok Sabhas, BJP is getting 7 out of 7 in these elections. So that's an edge over BJP. Lok Sabha consolidation is there. The Vidhan Sabha, be it in 2013, then in 15, then in 2020, the BJP vote share has increased, though minimally, but has increased. Now with the division of vote share and things which Aam Aadmi Party has to face this time is corruption charges, the Sheesh Mahal charges. What happens in Indian politics is perception plays a very important role. In Indian politics, what we have seen is people forgive corruption, but people cannot forgive arrogance. And this for the Aam Aadmi Party is the toughest election in their lifetime. Is why? Because for the first time, a common Aadmi was given the center stage, was an idea. Aam Aadmi Party was an idea. And it turned out to be a political gamut in 2020 onwards. So what happened is people would not like the idea of perception of Aam Aadmi living in a Sheesh Mahal. So this is going to change the perception of Arvind Kejriwal. And this is the biggest battle he's fighting in his electoral political career. So that's very important for the survival mode of Aam Aadmi Party because it is just there in Delhi. If they are in Delhi, they can stand nationally. If they're not in Delhi, it's a survival thing for Aam Aadmi Party. So this is a testing time. And I feel with BJP having that edge, I think BJP will, if they're close to 30, they are going to form the Sarkar either ways. There's no doubt about that. If they're touching 30 marks, they're going to fall.
What will change the fate of the BJP? Do you think it is primarily because of anti-incumbency that BJP will bear the fruits of that because Aam Aadmi Party is apparently not performing well enough?
Not because of that. BJP works on two ways. One is they work on the positive aspects of BJP, which is projecting Prime Minister Narendra Modi with larger-than-life persona, with unified BJP. That's the perception which BJP brings in, and that's the white marketing of BJP which goes hand in hand. There's a black marketing also of BJP, which they make sure that there is against Aam Aadmi Party narrative being carried out. The narrative of Aam Aadmi Party being carried out by BJP is the Sheesh Mahal, Kathni aur Karni mein farak of Aam Aadmi Party, bringing out the old speeches of Arvind Kejriwal, bringing out that all the promises made by Arvind Kejriwal have failed. So that kind of momentum in the eyes of people, and Aam Aadmi Party journey has been only 11 years. So people could relate that what this particular person, Arvind Kejriwal, had said in 2013, then 15, then 20, and how much has it delivered. So BJP has worked more on that that anti-incumbency factor was not there in 2020, or even we could say in 2025. But BJP has created that vacuum that you have to ask this tough questions to Arvind Kejriwal, you have to ask this questions to Manish Sisodia, you have to ask the Aam Aadmi Party how much have they delivered. So it is not the people which are asking much. It is BJP which has created through social media, through its karyakartas, that these questions are now the mainstream questions of Delhiites. So this is what is going to be a challenger for the narrative which has been set by BJP against Aam Aadmi Party for Aam Aadmi Party. That's the basic challenger. And other cutting leg for Aam Aadmi Party is the Congress standing out. Congress is going to damage, and Congress vote share is in the last election was 4.3%. So Congress, if just double ups their vote share, is going to create a huge damage for Aam Aadmi Party. If they just get into the double digits of it, if they get 10-11% of vote share, it's going to give a huge damage to Aam Aadmi Party. So why did this happen also?
Okay, and while we're talking about your projection, I will have to tell you, I would like to tell you, Manaswi, that the first poll by the Matriz agency is now out, and what it says is, what it projects is BJP at 40, Aam Aadmi Party at 29, Indian National Congress at 1. So that's the division of seats that has been done by Matriz. We'll take a look at the other poll surveys that are going to be released through the next 1 hour, and we'll collate it and we'll put that figure on our screens in just a short time. Manaswi, also I want to understand from you, what are these, these VIP constituencies with VIP candidates, star candidates. Arvind Kejriwal, a bigwig, hasn't lost an election in Delhi up until now. He is being pitted against Parvesh Verma and Sandeep Dixit. What are the chances that there can be the Congress or the BJP who could take away seats and votes from him?
I feel this is the toughest election for Arvind Kejriwal, no doubt about it. In 2013, when he fought an election, the narrative which he had created that fighting against Sheila Dixit, he was a giant killer, he was the crusader against corruption. And that kind of narrative he could build up. And then in 2015 also, he carried that wave that I will leave the Sarkar, I'm not here for Sarkar. And people trusted him, people voted for him. And 2020 when he said that you vote only if I work. So he was a giant player in politics. He was undisputedly the champion of Delhi elections, and he understood the pulse of Delhi voters, and people voted in favor of him. He was a great political study till 2020. So what happened after 2020 to 2025 is also a new study, that what you say, if you don't deliver in right now in today's time, and the perception has to be matched up. What you say, and you have to be in that perception. You may fly first class, but your perception has to be that you are economy person. If you want to project that kind of life in public life. But what happened? There was a complete 360-degree turn of Arvind Kejriwal, and that perception factor is going to go against him.
Okay.
So now,
the perception factor, also the targeted jibes of Prime Minister Narendra Modi just in the Parliament yesterday about the Sheesh Mahal jibe. He was talking about luxury shahs that were being installed at Arvind Kejriwal's residence, and that's the one of the key points that had been the issue that had been raked up again and again and again, not just by the BJP but the Congress as well. I'm going to again put out the numbers. Manaswi, we've gotten Matriz, we've gotten JVC and P Mark. They all have released the numbers. According to Matriz, BJP is projected to get anywhere between 35 and 40 seats. Indian National Congress between 0 and 1. Aam Aadmi Party between 32 and 37. JVC again gives a majority to BJP at between 39 and 45. Congress between 0 and 2, and Aam Aadmi Party between 27 and 34. P Mark has once again given a majority to the BJP with between 39 and 49. Congress between 0 and 1, and Aam Aadmi Party between 21 and 31. So this is very interesting, Manaswi, the fact that BJP, that had only been able to garner about 7 seats in the previous election 2020, is suddenly the front runner, suddenly the political party that is getting the maximum number of votes. Now it may not get the votes that were gained by the Aam Aadmi Party, which was almost all of them. 62 last time around, and in 2015 it was 67. So that may not be the case, that BJP sweeps the election if these projections are correct, but it has been able to achieve a little more than the halfway mark as per these numbers.
So there is no doubt about it. Why? Why? Because since 2013, though BJP has been on 2013, they were the largest in numbers. So since 2013, they may not have formed the sarkar, but their vote share has been consistent, has been very strong, and the cadre base, even they are losing elections in 3 decades, is there. So there is a momentum of cadre. While on the other side, Congress's cadre after 2013 has been decimating every year. So they don't have a cadre. The fight is with the Congress and BJP. If you look vis-a-vis, the fight of the cadre, the karyakarta, is much stronger for the BJP, while Congress does not have a cadre in Delhi. While in the heart of Delhi, while we say that Sheila Dikshit ji has been the best chief minister of any state during her time, she was the best among all equals. So that's the kind of thing which she had done for Delhi. But that perception of Sheila Dikshit ji, Congress could not bring out on table. And while BJP thrives and drives on Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji's narrative, they also have a very strong cadre, which has been there since 2013. And consequently, the vote consolidation have also continued, though they have been limited to less than 10 seats every year. But the vote share continues, the cadre continues. That's the biggest advantage for BJP. And now, when Aam Aadmi Party was on the wrong footing since 2022, BJP could suddenly garner the votes and now convert that vote share into seats. That's going to be the biggest advantage for BJP. That 5-7 seats, which would be the turning point for BJP, would be that the cadre and the strength of that continuous building of that vote share. That's going to be the changing point for BJP.
Okay, so there are more numbers. We spoke about Matrice, JV, C and P mark. Now we are also getting to know there are 3 more agencies that have released the numbers. That's People's Insight. People's Insight has once again given the maximum number of seats to BJP between 40 and 44. Indian National Congress remains between 0 and 1. Again, dismal performance projection by People's Insight. And Aam Aadmi Party's seat share has reduced, and it has projected that Aam Aadmi Party may win between 35 and 29 seats. People's Pulse has given the highest number of seats to BJP. It says that BJP might just win seats between 51 and 60. Congress will not open an account as per the projection of People's Pulse, while Aam Aadmi Party will be reduced to seats between 10 and 19. Now, Chanakya, meanwhile, has also released the numbers, and we'll put them out shortly on your screens. And this is interesting, Manaswi. One of the polls has actually stuck its neck out and said BJP is going to win up to 60 seats. What is the possibility of it?
I feel that is too ambitious as a poll analyst. I think that's going to be too ambitious for that to come true. If that comes true, I think whatever happened in 2024, people have to forget that. The momentum of Prime Minister Modi is the highest anyone could have in an Indian political career. So that kind of momentum he would have built up now, if that is the possibility. But I feel that is not the possibility. I feel BJP is going to give a kaate ki takkar to Aam Aadmi Party, and they're going to win, but not more than 45 seats. That's what I think as of now. But I don't know. The latest numbers of EC is yet to come out. But that's not a possibility from my point of view, that they could cross more than 45. But definitely, with my understanding of the situation and the ground report which I am getting, it is the BJP which has an edge. They are easily crossing the 35 mark. That's for sure.
Okay. I also want to now understand, these star candidates, Arvind Kejriwal, we're talking about Atishi, Saurabh Bharadwaj, Manish Sisodia. Do you see there is even a little bit of chance that Arvind Kejriwal loses his New Delhi seat?
I don't think that he'll lose, but he'll win through a very thin margin. He's a star campaigner. He's been the chief minister candidate of Delhi, and he has a vote bank. He has a vote share. People trust him. But I don't feel that he's going to lose that seat for sure. But I feel it's going to be a neck-to-neck fight. But Arvind Kejriwal has an edge over it for various reasons. For various reasons of what he has done for Delhi, what perception he has created, coming from an ordinary background with no background to become the chief minister of Delhi, creating that perception, having his own ideologies and theories, but he still worked out. So he has given an entire new chapter for Indian politics, be it what we call remedy freebies, which BJP has incorporated in all the schemes since 2019. So his agenda of politics has worked out for India, and there is no denial for that. Giving free electricity, giving free buses to women, and giving free education, getting education infrastructure. So there is a Arvind Kejriwal factor in Indian politics. So that we cannot throw it suddenly. So he's going to win for sure, but the margin is going to be considerably reduced from 2020.
Okay, let's also bring in Sunny Dhiman into the conversation. Sunny, before I start this conversation with you and get your analysis, I'm going to once again put out these numbers. Let's start from the start. Actually, let's take a look at Chanakya's numbers first. Chanakya has released the numbers, and Chanakya pits BJP between 39 and 44 seats. Indian National Congress is likely to win between 2 and 3 seats if Chanakya's projections turn right, and Aam Aadmi Party is likely to win between 25 and 28 seats. People's Pulse puts the number of the BJP between 51 and 60. That's the highest that any agency has up until now given to any political party in the current scheme of things, particularly for the BJP. And Indian National Congress at a 0, Aam Aadmi Party between 10 and 19, People's Insight again gives BJP between 40 and 44, Indian National Congress between 0 and 1, and Aam Aadmi Party between 25 and 29. PMark gives BJP between 39 and 49, Indian National Congress between 0 and 1, Aam Aadmi Party 21 and 20, between 21 and 31 seats. Now JVC gives BJP between 39 and 45 seats, Indian National Congress between 0 and 2 seats, and Aam Aadmi Party between 29 and 34 seats. And Matrice finally giving BJP the maximum number of seats once again between 35 and 40, Indian National Congress between 0 and 1, and Aam Aadmi Party between 32 and 37. So there seems to be a neck and neck fight as per I think almost more than half the projections that are giving a neck and neck fight between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, but are favoring BJP more than the Aam Aadmi Party. So Sunny, now let's understand from you, what's your analysis of these numbers, and what do you think, how do you project Delhi has voted?
Yeah, good evening, Ms. Sharma. So, according to my projection, I have been on ground. I have conducted a survey last year as per my agency, and also my statistical analysis. According to me, there are at least 25 seats where BJP will win with more than 10% vote share margin. And apart from that, so these are the seats where BJP is clearly winning. So BJP will open its account roughly around 25 seats, and there will be fight between Congress, AAP, and obviously BJP on other seats. So there is a clear indication that the numbers will speak louder than words here, which will come tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but day after tomorrow on the 7th. But the real issue which you asked, that the voting behavior. So there is a disillusionment among Delhi people. What India Against Corruption has given India and Delhi itself. The person who was the mascot of anti-corruption movement in India, which was part of the Vivekanand Foundation's projection, because they want to remove Sheila Dikshit from Delhi, and she was one of the best chief minister of India.
I'm sorry, Sunny, I will have to interrupt you. I'll have to take this short break. Come right back. Stay on with me, Sunny. I'll get you into the conversation. But those are the numbers flashing at the bottom of your screens. Interesting analysis. BJP and Aam Aadmi Party seem to be in a neck and neck fight. In fact, a number of almost all these agencies are favoring BJP and have slashed down the number of seats that Aam Aadmi Party had previously won to almost half. Will these projections actually be the reality of how Delhi has voted? We'll get to know only on 7th of February. Stay tuned on NewsX.